Visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. So we will now begin. Sorry for the delay. Already we are about 7 minutes late. So we're starting. So one request: whenever you want to talk, please unmute and talk. Anytime in between. I may not. In case I miss seeing your hands or your chat messages, please feel free to unmute and talk at any time. So, first of all, welcome back. This is a huge welcome after a very long time. Uh, we made a big pause. So, I think most of our participants are our old group. I wouldn't say old students because we're all co-learners, but yeah. So, here we are going to discuss one shloka and just a second. Okay, so let's begin. We are going to share, we're going to discuss one shloka from the beginning. So we are going to see from the basics, but of course, within 1 hour, we cannot cover everything, but we are going to have an overview. So, unlocking a shloka is essentially the output of what we would be able to do once we understand the basic grammar. So this event today is something that will help us go from reverse. Like, what can we do if we understand the basics of grammar? So that should inspire us to start from the basics. That said, we will make our best efforts to strike a balance between a pro and a basic level event today. So we are unlocking a shloka today. So before that, what is language? So, language is simply a means of communication. A language does not make us great, or it does not make us cool or uncool. Language is basically bhashyate iti bhasha, something that we use to talk to people, a means of communication. That is all languages. But we see people defaming someone for not knowing a language. It could be any language, right? If a North Indian comes to South, or if a South Indian goes to North, he feels out of place because they don't know the language the other people are speaking. So then they lose their self-esteem. And if someone is not very fluent in English in a posh society, they feel low again. Then again, in the Ayurveda field, if someone is not very fluent in Sanskrit, they are often put down by someone who may be very scholarly. So I don't think language is a means of determining someone's intelligence or aptitude. Language is merely a means of communication. Let's get that ground really well set before we enter into the topic proper. Bhashyate iti bhasha. Why am I saying this? Number one, knowing or not knowing a language does not make you superior or inferior to someone. It is merely a means of communication. And here, when I'm saying bhashyate, it is predominantly verbal, like that with which you speak is a language. Why am I saying this here? We are trying to learn Sanskrit, which is not predominantly a spoken language today. For whatsoever reason, that is not what we're going to discuss. So, when we're trying to learn a language that we're not actively speaking in society or listening from everywhere, it becomes a little tricky. That is why people are easily put off from learning the language. They think it's difficult. It is really not difficult. It is just that we probably don't get that many opportunities to use Sanskrit as we get for any other language. Like if I'm trying to learn Hindi, if I'm trying to learn Kannada, if I'm trying to learn Telugu, it's very easy for me to find a group of people who converse in that language. Or even if I just move to another state where let's say I move to Gujarat, I don't know Gujarati. It's very easy for me to learn Gujarati because everywhere around I'm hearing Gujarati. So for us to be able to learn Sanskrit, the easiest way is to use the language proactively. Reading is passive, listening is passive, watching a video is passive. I'm just receiving information, but I'm not using it actively. So any language grows only when we actively use it, which is why I'm specifically quoting the very definition of the word bhasha, bhashyateti bhasha. It's not pathyate iti bhasha, it's not shruyate iti bhasha, it is bhashyate iti bhasha. So talk, let it go wrong. We learn every language like that. We make mistakes. It doesn't matter. Within a peer of even five, six friends, let's start talking the language, using it in the form of creative writing. Then you will be amazed on how beautifully the language is flourishing in our minds. So, what is a shloka? Jumping into the topic. So, shloka is basically poetry. So, in Sanskrit, there are two predominant types of writing, Gadyam and Padyam. Gadyam is prose, wherein there is a free flow of content, the free flow of thought. It is not restricted by rhythm, it is not restricted by this many syllables, by, we call it meter. None of those restrictions are there. It's a free flowing thought in the form of prose. So that is known as Gadyam. But in Padyam is poetry. So in Padyam, we have certain rhythms that are to be followed. Certain every shloka has got, as we can see here, four padas. That is four quarters. Pada is nothing but quarter. So then there are rules that lie in this form of poetry. This pada has to have this many syllables. This pada has to have this many syllables. It has to follow a certain rhythm. So when we put our thoughts in a rhythmic fashion in four lines, that is known as a shloka. सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे वागधीश्वरि विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा. This is a simple shloka. We are all familiar with this. This has four padas. In our college world, we are typically used to say, oh, this is a four-line shloka. This is a two-line shloka. For example, Ragadi Rogan is a four-line shloka. Ayukame Manena is a two-line shloka. That's what we are used to saying, right? It's not wrong typically, because we are writing Ragadi Rogan in four lines, but we are writing Ayukame Manena in two lines. But every shloka has got four lines, that is four padas. The easiest way to break down the padas is just follow your instinct. The rhythm will automatically set. So here, it's very intuitive, right? Saraswati Namastubhyam. We pause there. Varade Vagadishwari. We pause there. Vidyarambham Karishyami. Pause. Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. So four equal parts. It need not be equal in every rhythm, but in this type of rhythm that we typically use, in most of our shlokas are in this rhythm. There are four padas which are equal in length. There are equal number of syllables in all the four padas. So no matter what the rhythm is, every shloka will divide into four segments. So that is the first step we need to take towards fluent reading, right? So how do we break down a shloka? What are the things we need to do to break down a shloka? The first thing, of course, is to know how to read, right? So for that, we need to know first that there will be four padas, even if it's written in two lines, even if it's written in one line, right? If it's a very small shloka, it's not wrong if I write it in one line horizontally. Even then, it has four padas. So what are the things we need to do? First, we need to split the words. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Vagadhishwari Vidyarambham. How am I supposed to split Vidyarambham? I should know that. Okay, is it with Yarambam, with Yarambam, Vidhi, Arambam, Vidya, Rambham? So how can anyone unmute and say how this word is split? Let's make it interactive, okay? Yes, this is very easy because we are very familiar with these words. Vidya is a common word, Arambam is a common word, so we were very easily able to split. But if there are unfamiliar words, even then we should be able to split. That happens with the knowledge of Sandhi and Samasa. When we know Sandhi and Samasa, we will know where possibly this word should be split to understand. Okay, then we need to unjumble the words, because like I said, in Gadyam it is a free flow of thought. It is not jumbled. Like if I want to say I'm going to the market, I would say I'm going to the market. But if I'm going to put it in the form of poetry, even in English, I would say to the market I go, right? Because it fits in a certain rhythm, so the words would be jumbled. But the beauty of Sanskrit is, even if you jumble the words, the meaning does not get changed. But to be able to understand it in a natural way, it is important for us to unjumble the words in our mind, and then we decipher the meaning. So for both these segments, that is for both these steps, for unjumbling the words and then for deciphering the meaning, we need to know a lot of other things, the main of which are on the screen: shabda rupa, dhatu rupa, pratyaya, avyaya, and a lot of other grammatical aspects. When we know those, we will be able to unjumble and then decipher the meaning. And then we dive deep into the meaning, for which we need to know the complete process of sentence formation, using which we can read the commentaries. For example, Chakrapani commentary or Ayurveda Rasayana and so on and so forth. We have a lot of commentaries for our core Samhita, so they will give us some deeper meaning. If we are reading a text for which there is no commentary available, still we will be able to dive deeper simply using grammar. You open a word, see how it is made, how each word originates, then what is the root word, what is the suffix, how for example, if it is vidya, how did the word vidya come into being? So then there is a root, there is a suffix, then that would give us some new insight. Even if a commentary is not available, it's possible to dive deeper into the inner meaning. So this is, I'm going to very quickly just give you an overview of what these are. It is impossible to look at all these topics in a session, but what are these? So sandhi is a transformation that happens when two letters meet, right? When you and I meet, you and I are friends, we're meeting after a long time, so then I would say hi and I would make you sit next to me. That's what we would do. Suppose you're someone I don't really like, then I might walk away as if I didn't even see you, or I might move away and I might say, suppose I'm in a counter meeting people in a shop, then I would say, if a some customer comes whom I don't like, then I would walk away and I would bring in my colleague and say, you attend to him. I'm going and I'm replacing myself with somebody. Or I might just vanish. If I fear you, if I'm intimidated by you, I might just vanish from that area. Like that, some transformation happens when two people meet. I greet you, or I ignore you, or I shout at you, I do something. So when two letters meet also, some transformation happens, and that is known as sandhi. So this could be a swara sandhi if it's happening between two swaras, that is two vowels like e, those are swaras. So if is meeting e, a is meeting u, something happens. So those sandhis are swara sandhis. Vyanjana Sandhi, if there are one or more Vyanjanas involved. What are Vyanjanas? Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, that list is Vyanjanas. So if ka is meeting e also, swaras also can be involved. If sha is meeting cha, if sa is meeting cha, like that, when two Vyanjanas meet, something happens, that is Vyanjana Sandhi. Visarga Sandhi, Visarga is the two dots that we put aha, vataha, kapaha. So when a Visarga meets a letter, something happens. So these three are the possible combinations in which letters meet. So when they meet, when the sandhi is meeting, right? When they meet, something happens. That change is what reflects in a sandhi. So what are the possible transactional changes that happen in a sandhi? First is adeshaha. For example, here I'm just going to be very brief about this. So we have over here prati ekam. So here we have e prati plus ekam, right? So e is meeting a. So here what is happening? E is replaced by ya, so it becomes pratyekam. So this is adeshaha, which is sorry, it's like an enemy. I have written it wrongly on the screen. It's an enemy. So E is going, Y is coming, like a game of chess. When I'm beating someone, when I'm winning over someone, I remove their coin and put something new. Then Agamaha. So sorry, these terms are wrong. So this is enemy and this is friend. Okay. Yeah. So here there is Pathan Asti. Na is meeting a new friend called Na is coming. So these three are friends, okay? So then what would you do if you're sitting on a long bench, two friends are sitting and a third friend is coming? What do you say? Why are you sitting there? Come sit with me. So then this ner comes and sits in between these two people. Pathan asti. Pathan asti. Lopaha is like a magician. Something happens and this vanishes. When something totally vanishes, it's like magic happening. That is Lopaha. And then Prakriti Bhavaha is like nature, natural, staying as it is. So even after Sandhi has taken place, there is no change. So these are the four possible transactions that happen in a Sandhi. Then what is samasa? Samasa is the process of merging two or more words into one. For example, Vatsakascha Tuntukascha Vatsaka Tuntukau. Can anyone trace the shloka? Where does this word, where do we see this word? In which shloka? Yatha Vatsaka Tuntukau. Clue, it's from Shanadara Samhita. Yes, correct. Yes, that context has been placed. The text is Shanadara Samhita. Anybody? Okay, let's leave it at that point. Okay. So next, Ayurvedasya. So there are two words. There are two drugs. Vatsaka is one drug. Tuntuka is one drug. We are merging together and we are making it one word. Ayurvedasya Upadeshaha. Ayurveda Upadesha. What shloka is this? This is very easy. Ayurveda Upadesheshu. Yeah. Dridham Shariram Yasya Saha. So here there are more than two words. Here we are pointing out to someone who has a very strong body, right? Dridham Shariram Yasya Saha. He who has a Dridha Sharira is a, he who has a strong body is a strong bodied person, right? Dridha Shariraha. Shaktim Anatikramya, not going beyond somebody's capability, doing as much as someone is capable of, doing as much as one's capacity allows them to, and not exceeding that. Yatha Shakti. So, like this, these are a few examples. There are hundreds and thousands of examples. So, like this, when we merge two or more words into one word, that process is known as samasa. Then we have Shabda Rupa, Dhatu Rupa. We are all familiar with this. So Shabdas are nouns and adjectives. They are the constituents that build most of the other parts of sentence. Other in the sense, apart from dhatus, apart from the action words, all the other words like in we have learned Vataha, Vato, Vataha, Pittam, Pitte, Pittani. Dhamani, Dhamanyo, Dhamanyaha. So we have 7 vibhaktis plus Sambodhana Pratama, 8 rows and 3 columns. Those are all the Shabda Rupas. Then dhatus, they are the action words. For example, there is one root called bhu. It can exist in different forms based on the number and the person we are talking about. So it can be bhavati, it can be bhavet, it can be bhavatu, it can be bhavami. So all the words in a shloka or in any piece of text that denote the action that's happening over there, they are dhatus or they are kriyapadas. Then pratyayas and avyayas. So they are suffixes. Pratyayas are suffixes with which one word takes different forms. For example, here we have typically shown the pratyayas that are applied with dhatus. For example, kru dhatu can present itself in various forms based on how I want to use it. For example, kritaha, kriyamanaha, kartavyaha, kuruvan, kritavan, karayati. These are all different forms of the same dhatu kru. How are all these forms created? By something called pratyaya. So different pratyayas, when they join with this dhatu, they result in different forms. They have different meanings. They are used in different contexts. Avyayas are words that do not change in any situation. Like there is no chaha chauche, cha, khalu, nunam. These are some words. There are plenty again that don't change anywhere. So when we have a basic knowledge of all of these things, it is very easy to first split the shloka in the right place and decipher at least an overall meaning, a superficial meaning. So let's begin without further delay. So whoever has not yet unmuted and started answering, I want you also to get involved. So we're going to start with a simple shloka. अत्यम्बुपानान्न विपच्यतेन्नं निरम्बुपानाच्च स एव दोषः तस्मान् नरो वन्यविवर्धनाय मुहुर्मुहुर्वारि पिबेदभूरि. So the first step we're going to do is split the padas. Just follow the rhythm. I want anyone to unmute and try splitting the padas. What are the padas? The four parts. Anybody? This is very deep. Great. So we have four padas here. Atyambupananna vipachyatennam nirambupanaccha saeva doshaha tasman naro vanni vivardhanaya muhur muhurvari pibeda bhuri. Has anyone heard of this shloka, read this shloka anywhere? Is anyone familiar? Where have you seen this shloka? It is a shloka that is found in Vaidikya Subhashita Sahitya. The original, I believe, is from Yogaratnaka. Okay. So, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to split the words, unjumble the words, decipher the meaning, and then dive deep. Okay. So, we will do it on the screen together. But it's okay if you're not able to split because this is like a tutorial. So, if anyone wants to try, you can try. How do we split? Great, beautiful, Pavitra. Anybody else wants to try or wants to point out something in what Dr. Pavitra has given us? It was good. Like most of it was right. There are a couple of things that could be fine tuned. Dr. Shivani, just try. It's okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Great. So most of it is right. So let's see. Atyambupanat na vipachyate annam nirambupanat cha saha eva doshaha tasmat naraha vanni vivardhanaya muhuhu muhuhu vari pibet abhuri. So pibet abhuri, most of you had got it right. Vipachyate annam, you had got it right. So here also there is something. Atyambupanat na. Ta and na are meeting and ta is becoming na. Okay. Vipachyate annam nirambupanat cha saha eva. So this is a lopa where we saw vanishing, right? Saha eva. The visarga is vanishing to become sa eva. Doshaha tasmat naraha vanni vivardhanaya muhuhu muhuhu vari vivek abhuri. Okay. Now we're not going into the meaning. Now we need to unjumble the words. So, how do we unjumble? First, we have to identify what is the Kriya Pada in the Shloka. That is the first step of unjumbling. So, what are the Kriya Padas? Bhavati, Likhati, Khadati, Hasati, Pibati. Those are the Kriya Padas. It can be in any form. It can be Bhavet, Likhet, Haset, Khadet, Pibet. bhavatu, khadatu, hasatu, and so on and so forth, right? We have learned all the lakaras. So here, which is word is the kriya pada? Okay, yes, and pibet, right? Correct, correct. There are two kriya padas here, right? So now using this, what is the overall picture we are getting? Can anyone try unjumbling? It's actually, this shloka is pretty straightforward already. Uh, Now that we have split, right? Atyambupanat na vipachyate annam. How can anyone try unjumbling? Mm. Yes, go on. Correct. This was correct. Huh. Dr. Vairamuthu needs to help. Hmm. The smart. Okay. Ah. Hmm. Hmm. How much pivot? Yeah. So yeah, great. So claps to all those who tried. Atyambupanat annam na vipachyate. You can say, as Dr. Vairmuthu said, Saheva doshaha nirambupanatcha. While unjumbling the words, we are allowed to add the words that are missing, right? Some words we avoid in the shloka because they go without saying. So we can add those missing words. So here, when we add, any sentence is complete only when we add a kriya pada, an action word. So it is missing in the shloka, so we can add it here. So nirambupanat cha sahaeva dosha bhavati, or sahaeva doshaha nirambupanat. You can add api, means also bhavati. Just to make it sound more intuitive, we can add any missing words. Tasmat vanni vivardhanaya naraha muhuhu muhuhu abhuri vari pibet. So when we unjumble, there's no hard and fast rule that it should be like this. For example, doctor said sahaeva doshaha. Actually, that's more intuitive than what I've written. So it's absolutely fine to have two, three correct answers, but the whole purpose is to unjumble and try and make sense out of it. Okay, so now we have to decipher the meaning. Till here, are we good? Is there anybody who wants to ask anything? Okay, and saha. Saha is, you're asking about saha eva doshaha, no? Huh. Saha is, how it came. It came because of a visarga sandhi. Okay, so in visarga sandhi, when a visarga, that is aha plus any other swara like a in this context, when this meets, the visarga vanishes. That is a rule of visarga sandhi. It's one type of sandhi. So here what has happened is, after sandhi has happened, this visarga has gone, so it has become sa eva. So before sandhi took place, it was saha eva. Saha is a pronoun that means he or it in the masculine sense. Like if I want to say balakaha, okay, saha balakaha, he is a boy. Okay, saha balakaha gachati, that boy is going. So that he, it in a masculine context is saha. So why here masculine? We are talking about doshaha. Doshaha is masculine. It is a pullinga word. So atyambu panat annam na vipachyate. That is a problem, right? When we drink excess water, ati ambu panam. When we're drinking excess water, what happens? Annam na vipachyate. Food does not get cooked. That is digested. So which is a dosha. It's a problem, right? It's something that should not happen. Indigestion should not happen. The saha eva dosha, the same fault happens Nirambupanacha. So that fault, that dosha, so dosha here is not vata pitta kapha. Dosha here is a mistake. So that same mistake happens at Nirambupanacha by not drinking water also. Is your question answered? Okay. Right. So now we have started deciphering the meaning already. So Nirambupanat cha saha eva doshaha. So we are basically looking at all the vibhaktis and we are trying to okay, before going to the vibhaktis, just by reading we're trying to make sense, right? Atyambupana. So these are basic words which we know. Ambu is water, ati is excess, pana is drinking. So excess water drinking. Okay, it putting it in very very simple terms. At, it is ending in at, which is suggesting Panchami Vibhakti. So, like Ramat, Vatat, that is from. So, from this cause, a result is being born. So, from the habit of drinking excess water, what happens? Annam na vipachyate. Food does not get digested. Pach dhatu means to cook. So, what does our digestive system do to food? It cooks. So, by from the habit of excess drinking of water, food does not get cooked. That is, food does not get digested. Saha eva doshaha, the same problem of food not being digested happens also when nirambupanat. So here, cha is like and. So the same problem happens also by nirambupana. So that also, that and is here, cha. Tasmat, therefore, what are we supposed to do in Ayurveda? We know the Agni is the most important thing, right? So when food is not getting cooked, digested because of excess water, that means Agni is being hampered. The same thing happens when we don't drink water, so again Agni is hampered. So Vanni Vivardhanaya, to increase the Agni, which also means to maintain it naturally. Naraha, Manushyaha. What should Naraha do? Muhur Muhuhu. That means frequently, in frequent intervals, Abhuri Vari Pibet. Bhuri is a lot. Abhuri is not a lot. That means small quantities of water in frequent intervals instead of nowadays we have a trend of in the morning I get up and I drink 3 liters water. So this shloka is not advocating that. Muhu muhu abhuri vari pibe. That means that is when we feel thirsty also, right? Muhu muhu, we feel thirsty at that time, drink little water. That's all. So tasmat vanni vivardhanaya naraha muhu muhu abhuri vari pibe. Have we got the overall picture of the shloka? Okay. So, was it simple or did we need a translation? Right? Yeah. So the whole purpose of doing this whole process is we should look sorry we should look as it is before looking into the translation. It's okay to look at a translation. We are not against translations. Translators have done a beautiful work for us. They have given a lot to us. But we should not be completely dependent on those translations. That is the whole point. Then, when we dive deep into the meaning, we can refer the commentaries or we can go into the koshas, that is the dictionaries, and see how each word has been derived. For example, there is a word vipachyate. So, how did this word vipachyate come? Vipachyate, we simply think pachana, digestion. But when we say pach dhatu is cooking, okay, that gives another insight to the human body. So, what essentially is happening here, yat pinde tat brahmande, in this context also, what is in this pinda body, the same thing we do outside also. So, there is Agni on the gas stove, and there's food on top of that Agni on the gas stove. If there's no water at all, if it's absolutely dry, at least we need oil, right? If it's something, if it's rice or if it's something that needs water or oil and I'm just roasting it dry, it will not get cooked. It may get burnt, it may get charred. Then atyambu panad, if I add too much water more than required, even then it is not going to get cooked the way we want it to. So the same thing is happening here inside and outside. So when I say Pach is cooking, I get a different perspective of thinking about my digestive system. And I get a different perspective of perceiving my Agni also. So when we open these words, how these words have been created, how these words have been derived from one root word, that gives us a whole lot of insights. So let's try another shloka together. आचार्य सर्वचेष्टासु लोक एव हि धीमतः अनुकुर्यात् तमेवातो लौकिकार्थे परीक्षकः. So what should we do first? Split the padas, follow the rhythm. Who's going to lead? Read it slowly and split. Yes, please. Superb. So that is exactly how the four padas have been split. Congratulations. May I know your name? Your Okay, okay, nice, sir. So thank you, Badriji. It is exactly how the shloka is split in padas. Acharya sarva cheshtasu loka eva hi dhimatah anukuryat tamevato laukikarthe parikshakah. So we use a tune commonly, right? Even when we do parayanam, when we read a shloka, that also helps us divide the shlokas easily. Acharya sarva cheshtasu loka eva hi dhimatah अनुकुर्यात् तमेव तो लौकिकार्थे परीक्षकः. So if we are getting stuck, if we don't know where to split, you can try singing it. It intuitively we can pause at the right place. Okay. So let's begin. We have to split the words, unjumble the words, decipher the meaning, and dive deep. So who wants to try splitting the words? Anybody? Okay, claps. Absolutely correct. So आचार्यः सर्वचेष्टासु लोकः एव हि धीमतः अनुकुर्यात् तम एव अतः लौकिकार्थे परीक्षकः. Perfect. So, can anyone say what type of transactional change has happened in these shlokas? I have highlighted in brown the areas where sandhi has taken place. What were the four transactional changes that could happen in a sandhi? It's okay if you don't get the word, you can just tell what happens. Yes, yes, great. Then between eva and ataha, what were the four changes that could happen? One is lopa, that is vanishing. Then adesha. Adesha means, yeah, yeah. Something goes and something comes in its place, right? Okay. Or third one, sorry. Yeah, correct. And fourth, yeah, yeah. Fourth, Prakriti Bhava, where no change happens. Okay. So among these four, what has happened between Eva and Ataha to result in Eva to Eva Taha? Yeah. Okay. Anybody wants to comment on this? We will learn this detail when we do sandhis, of course. Eva, eva, ataha, right? A plus a. In the place of both of these, a letter called a has come. Correct? Eva, ataha, evataha. So, what type of transaction is it? Yeah, yeah. Is it an adesha or agama? Yeah. No, it's an adi. A is a different letter, a is a different letter, right? So in the place of a and a, this a has come and it has replaced both these fellows. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, right. Okay. Nice. Now we have to unjumble the words. Okay. So who wants to try? How do we do? There is no Kriya Pada, right? Or is there? Is there a Kriya Pada? Karoti is not here. This one? Yeah. Anukuriyat. Okay. Yes. You can just try it, let it go wrong. In the first line, there is no Kriya Pada. In the second line, there is. Should I give you the answer? This is not as simple as the previous shloka, right? Dhimataha acharyaha sarvacheshtasu lokah eva bhavati. अतः परीक्षकः tam eva लौकिकार्थे अनुकुर्यात्. I'm going to read it a couple more times so you can try and make sense out of it and tell me what you understand. Okay. धीमतः आचार्यः सर्वचेष्टासु लोकः एव भवति. अतः परीक्षकः तम एव लौकिकार्थे अनुकुर्यात्. धीमतः आचार्यः सर्वचेष्टासु और सर्वचेष्टासु धीमतः आचार्यः लोकः एव भवति. अतः परीक्षकः तम एव लौकिकार्थे अनुकुर्यात्. Any sense were you able to make out of it? Forget dhimataha. Okay, if this is the word that is making you feel stuck, forget about it. आचार्यः सर्वचेष्टासु लोकः एव भवति. What is lokah? No? Yes, the world around us. Okay. So Acharyah Lokah Eva Bhavati means who is an Acharya in very simple terms? Yeah, so we'll keep it as teacher. Okay. So Lokah Eva Acharyah Bhavati means yeah, that's all. Sarva Cheshtasu. Cheshta is action, right? So Su is suggesting Saptami Vibhakti. Asu, right? Ramasu. Sirasu, we have studied. So Sarva Cheshtasu. In all actions. So Saptami Vibhakti is in, right? So in Sarva Cheshta. In all actions. Lokaha eva acharyaha bhavati. Sarva Cheshtasu. Lokaha eva acharyaha bhavati means Lokaha eva acharyah bhavati. The world is the teacher. In what? In all actions. That means for anything I want to do, anywhere I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. I see the world around me. Sarva cheshtasu. In every step of life, lokaha eva acharyah bhavati. The people around me, the world around me teaches me. For whom is the Loka Acharya? Dhimataha. He who is a Dhiman. That is a very intellectual person, right? Dhi is intellect. So he who is very intellectual. For an intellectual person, so here Dhimataha is the Shashti Vibhakti of Dhimat Shabdaha. Someone is joining. So in Dhiman is someone who is very intellectual. Dhimataha is of so teacher of a very wise person. So for English purpose, we'll say for. So for an intellectual person, sarva cheshtasu acharyaha lokaha eva bhavati athva lokaha eva acharyaha bhavati. So for a dhiman, for an intellectual person, in all actions, in all activities, the whole world itself is his teacher, or or his teacher is nothing but the world around him. Is the first line clear? Okay. Ataha. Ataha is any idea what is? Yeah. So therefore. Okay. So therefore, ataha parikshakaha. So parikshakaha here is the subject, right? The one who's doing the action. That is someone who is examining. Pariksha is examination, right? Ikshanam is seeing. Paritaha ikshate. Someone who's seeing all around, right? Someone who is examining everything around him. What should he do? Tam eva laukikarthe anukuryat. Anukuryat. So here, kuryat is, what is kuryat? It's okay if you don't land at the exact meaning. What verb is it related to? What dhatu is it related to? What is it pointing at? Doing. Yes. Yes. To do. When we say kuryat, it means must do. Okay. So anu kuryat. Anu is like following, right? Follow suit. Anukuryat, that is, he should follow. He must follow. That is Anukuryat. For what? Laukikarthe. That is for all worldly matters. For anything, for example, this shloka is talking a lot about behavior. It can be taken in a much wider sense also, but this shloka is from a context where we are talking about societal norms. Can anyone trace the reference? Where does the shloka come? Yes. Yes, yes, great. This is from Dinacharya, and in this context, Acharya is discussing how a person should be in society. So, in social norms, he should talk well. He should be smiling. He should be the first one to start a conversation. He should talk sweetly, talk only as much as as is required, and for be righteous because everybody is doing things only for their happiness. So all those contexts are there in that area of the chapter. So here in as per the with reference to the context, Acharya is talking about how we should live in society. So laukikathe, that is for the worldly things. So if I don't know, for example, I'm walking into a room full of corporate people, executive people, I don't know how to behave, right? Because at home we're different, among friends we're different, but I have never been to a business meeting, I've never been to a corporate meeting, so I'm obviously intimidated. So I don't know how to behave, how to present myself, how to sit. There are so many norms, right, in such situations, like how to sit, how to hold my mic, how to stand, how to greet, how to give a handshake, how to fold my hands. There are so many things. So how do I learn it? By observing. Parikshakaha. You have to see pari, you have to see all around, and then anukuryat, follow what people are doing. So this is for social living, social life. Follow what people are doing and do it. So even for example, I'm going to a temple in some other state. So in the temples of my state, the way of worship may be different. In some other state it may be slightly different. There will be small differences here and there. I don't know what to do. For example, in some temples we are expected to put a cloth over the head. In some temples we don't. in our areas we don't, whereas in the north they do. So if I want to fit in society, it's nothing wrong to follow what they're doing. So when I'm new to a place, when I don't know how to behave or how to present myself or even how to talk or how to greet, this is one example I'm giving you from the verse. So, what do I do? Parikshakaha. I should become a parikshakaha first. I should become someone who's very observant of everything around me. And then anukurya. Tam eva anukurya. So, tam here is also like saha we saw in the previous shloka. Saha is a pronoun, right? Which means he or it. So, here tam is also a pronoun. So, here what is tam referring to? Can anyone guess? What should Yes, exactly. Lokaha. So Lokaha is the Acharya. Loka is my teacher in all actions. So, Laukikarthe, for all worldly things, I have to follow this Acharya only. I have to follow this teacher. So, Acharya is Loka. So, Tam is I have to follow Loka or Acharya. Anukuryat. So, Parikshakaha Laukikarthe Tam Acharyam Tam Lokam Eva Anukuryat. That is, I should follow, the Parikshaka should follow the teacher known as the world around him for all worldly things, for all laukikarthas, for all worldly things. So it can be for anything like how to earn, how to walk, so many things, right? So, on a broader sense, in a philosophical level, you can come up with many other meanings, but with respect to the context in which the shloka has appeared, we are talking about body language and other things. Next, we are diving deep into the meaning for which we are looking at the commentaries. Are we okay till now with the overall meaning? Does anyone? Okay. So now we're looking at the meaning. So this is from Ashtanga Hridayam, as we have already, as our participants have also pointed out, the chapter also. So this is a screenshot, is a picture of the commentaries of Ashtanga Hridaya. What commentary is Sir? Anybody? Written by? And what is R? Written by? Okay. And Sir by? Yes. So these are the two commentaries that we popularly say. There are a lot of other commentaries too, but this is one of the common things we use. So Sarvanga Sundara and Ayurveda Rasayana. So let's see how basically overall how a commentary is studied. We'll try to make it simple, brief. Reading a commentary is not a rocket science. It is not something that can be done only by big scholars. You and I can read commentaries very easily. All you have to know is the way in which it is flowing. So whenever we read a commentary, here in this commentary they have made it very simple because they've added hyphens. In some commentaries, in Chakrapani commentary, we won't have those hyphens, so we'll get stuck. How a commentary works is, here we're saying he yasmat. That means he is the word in the shloka here. Okay, so the word he means yasmat. That is how the commentary flows. The commentary will take one word from the shloka and give its meaning, another word from the shloka and give its meaning. That is how commentaries work. Even Chakrapani commentary, that's how it works. Here it is much easier because the hyphen is present. So he means yasmat. Yasmat he. Yasmat means because. Right? So lokah eva hi dhimatah. So the question arises, why should you follow the loka? From the second line, says parikshakaha should follow the loka for all laukikarthas. Why should he follow the loka? Because lokah eva sarva cheshtasu dhimatah acharyah bhavati. Why should you follow the loka? Because loka is the teacher in all actions for a wise man. So he is yasmat. If we didn't know this, we would have thought he is just a filler, like tu. It doesn't have any meaning, it's there just to fill the rhythm. But he is yasmat. So now with this context, we are seeing the shloka from down to up, right? Earlier we saw the first line, then the second line. But now with this in mind, he is because when we have this context, we are seeing from the second line to the first line. Are we all in the same page? Okay. Then dhimataha means what? So dhimataha is a word from the shloka, and then Acharya is giving the commentator is giving the meaning. Dhimataha means buddhi yuktasya, he who has buddhi, that is intellectual person. So now in this shabda of dhiman, in two places we get dhimataha. It is seen in Panchami Vibhakti and also in Shashti Vibhakti. Suppose I get stuck. In this shloka it is easy, but suppose I get stuck. I don't know whether in this context it is Panchami Dhimataha or Shashti Dhimataha. Then this is giving me a clue. Buddhi Yuktasya. So when it is Sya, we don't have any confusion. Sya is always Shashti, right? So Buddhi Yuktasya means Dhimataha is a Shashti wala Dhimataha, not Panchami. Okay, so Buddhi Yuktasya. So of a Buddhi Yukta person, of a Dhiman. Sarva Cheshtasu Nishesha Vyapareshu. Shesha is when something is remaining, balance, that is Shesha. Nishesha means nothing is left out, no balance. That means in everything, right? So Nishesha is another way of saying complete in everything. That means there are no exceptions to it. In all vyapara, that is in all transactions, in all worldly happenings, in the way we behave, in the way we talk, what we give, what we take, how we transact, how we interact, those are all our vyaparas. So nishesha vyapareshu, in all our vyaparas, in all our regular activities, without any exception. That is because sarva is all. So Acharya is stressing nishesha. When I'm saying all, there are no exceptions. That additional stress is given by the commentator. Lokaha eva acharya. So again, this word is from the shloka. Lokaha eva acharya means upadeshta. So who is an acharya here? Upadeshta. So when we go and deep into the meaning of acharya, we might have many meanings, like definitions are there. So here commentator is making it very simple. Upadeshta, someone who gives advice, someone who shows us the direction. He is an acharya. Ataha asmad hetoho. Here there is a sandhi. Asmad hetoho, asmad hetoho. So ataha means from this reason, because of this reason. That is, we have already seen. Therefore, so. Tam eva, lokam eva. So we were asking, right, what is tam referring to? Tam is referring to loka. See, but even before reading the commentary, we were able to trace that much. Tam eva means lokam eva. So if you have done this brain work before reading the commentary, when you see tam eva, lokam eva, you can pat your shoulders. You already understood that before reading the commentary. Laukikarthe parikshakah purushah anukuryat. So who is a parikshakah here? Parikshakah is purushah. Parikshakah is not examiner, is not invigilator, it is purushah. In general, a person, anukuryat, he should follow. So here, who is a parikshakah? That is explained here. So it applies to anybody, right? Yatha lokah vyavaharati tatha vyavahriyat ityartha. So last part of the commentary, the commentator is giving us a lucid meaning of the whole shloka in one line. Yatha lokah vyavaharati. Just like the world is behaving around you, tatha vyavahriyat. Behave like that. Iti artha. So are we okay with Sarvanga Sundara? Okay. So let's go to Ayurveda Rasayana. We're about to finish. This is the last example we are seeing. Lokat eva achara shiksham vidhatte acharya iti. This is another way commentary start. So why is he saying? So Ayurveda Rasayana is starting like he's giving the context. He's giving the overall meaning and he's saying To say, to establish this point, Acharya is saying so and so. So, like that, Ayurveda Rasana is establishing context before diving into the shloka. Lokat eva achara shiksha vidhatte. That is from the world itself, achara shiksha, the lessons on behavior is being established. So, this is by on the note of establishing achara shiksha from the world, Acharya says, Acharya iti. So when we're saying Acharya iti, when we see these type of presentations, some word iti in any commentary, that means we should look from that point in the shloka. For example, now this is very simple because it's only a shloka. But if it's in a big prose or a set of 10, 12 shlokas, commentators won't comment on every word. They will comment on only what they feel it is necessary to comment on. So, what word are they talking about? From which area are they commenting on? So, that we get when we see this word iti. Whenever you see the word iti, you have to know that, okay, now the commentator is talking about the words that start from this word. So, acharya iti. So, in commentaries, you may see acharya iti or acharya ityadi. So when you see those type of words in the commentary, it means we have to go to that part of the shloka or the prose. That means from there, the commentator is discussing. So the commentator and me, both of us will be on the same page. हि यस्मात् धीमतः पुरुषस्य सर्वस्य सर्वत्र लोकः एव आचार्यः शिक्षकः. So धीमतः पुरुषस्य, for a intellectual man, sarvasya, that means for all intellectual men, sarvatra, everywhere, lokaha eva acharyaha, the world is the teacher. Acharyaha means what? Shikshakaha. So he's clarified teacher. Acharya is teacher, someone who gives you shiksha, someone who teaches you something. Ataha asmat tam eva anukuryat yatha lokaha acharati tatha acharet ityartha. This is the same. Katham bhutaha, so who should do this? Laukikarthe parikshakaha. So for laukika things, for worldly things, materialistic things, the parikshakaha should follow this. How should he do it? Lokaha kaha kimartham kim acharati iti pariksham kuruvan. Loke, so in the world, who is doing something, why are they doing something, and what are they doing? So, like this, we have to observe the world around us and learn. If we don't know what's happening around us, observe who is doing what. Let's get back to the meeting example. So, we are going to a business meeting. So, who is talking? After who? How are they talking? So, then I can follow them because it's the first time I'm in that meeting. It's the first time I'm in a room full of businessmen or corporates or whatever. So, how do I learn now? I don't have a mentor. I have never been in such a room before. So how do I understand? I observe. Kaha acharati. Who is doing? Who is announcing? And if there are 10 people to talk and I am the 11th person, how are they talking? For what are they talking? That means if they're talking for 5 minutes, what are they trying to establish in those 5 minutes of their conversation, of their speech? That is, what are they highlighting? How are they saying? What are they saying? So when I observe that, by the time my turn comes, I'll be mentally prepared. So here Acharya is talking about observational skills, how we learn from society, how we learn from the people around us, how we learn from nature also. You can give your own interpretations. So we have dived deep into the meaning. So we have done everything. We have seen that, we have read the shloka fluently, we have split the words, we have unjumbled it, we have deciphered the meaning on our own, and then dived deep into the meaning using the commentaries. We have not seen a single translation. We have not seen an English translation, Hindi, whatever. So is this possible, doable for all of us in the meeting? You can show a thumbs up if you agree. Thank you. So, the whole idea of today's meeting is to give you an overview of what really happens when we approach a shloka through the language in which it is written. When we approach any piece of literature in the language with which it is written. So if I'm trying to read a Kabir's Doha, instead of sitting with an English translation, or if I'm trying to read a Tirukural, I will get the best essence out of it when I read it in that language, using that language. Tirukural has been translated into Hindi, English, and so on. Kabir's Dohas have also been translated like that. There are masterpieces of literature in almost in every language. If I have to cherish that piece of art, I should be able to do it in that particular language. Otherwise, the charm is lost. So, same way here, we're trying to understand Ayurveda. It's a science of life, it's a science using which we treat people. Here, it's not just to enjoy the beauty, relish, and cherish and sing glories of it. We are actually applying it and working with lives. So, we cannot afford to miss even one word. We cannot afford to misinterpret. We cannot afford to be blindly directed by translators. Translators may not always be wrong. They're also people like you and me. They can only give you what they have understood. There could be something that they have not perceived. There could be something that their language cannot give, right? So, if suppose they're translating it into English, there may be words in Sanskrit that cannot be 100% translated into English. But if I'm dependent on the language into which it is being translated, I'm definitely going to lose something. So, this talk is not against translations. We use translations, refer them, no doubt. They will give you some added meaning, they will give you some insights. The translator might have some own opinions that they can add as commentaries. Absolutely beautiful. But look at them after you have done all this brain work. So, even if you're using any translation, you're using a Hindi, Tamil, whatever translation, use it. But before reading that text below the shloka, shloka is always in bold. The translation is not in bold in most of our texts. But a lot of people don't even read those two lines that are in bold. They directly go to the translation. What is the fun of it, right? We are losing out on a lot. So first read the shloka, do all this. What were the 5 steps? We read it, split the pada, split the words, unjumble the words, and try deciphering the meaning, and then dive deep into the meaning. Once you have done all that, if you want to cross check with the translator to see if you have understood it right, to even check if the translator has understood it right, then go into the translation. So that would be the most ideal way of understanding a shloka. With this, we are restarting our Nimit Educations, Nimit Ventures, because we have given a very long pause, and for which I have to say sorry to all the students here, because a lot of people have been asking. It is a lack of drive from my end, but now we are restarting. We will discuss in the group on how we are going to proceed. At least once a month we are meeting live, and during the other days we will have recorded sessions, and we are also giving recorded sessions on an app now. I'm a content creator for an app called The Prithvi. I will share the link in our groups, so you can download the app, where I'm regularly giving recorded videos. So we can do that the rest of the month, and once a month we can meet live and we can discuss and we can go topic wise. Let's get back together and then continue our journey of understanding Ayurveda the way it should be. Okay, thank you. For those who didn't know, we were also live on YouTube. So I'm going to stop the stream, and we can continue our Google Meet.